So we'll start where we left actually. Okay. So fine. Okay. So just 1 minute. So please ask questions. Okay, I will. So there we started. Back. Okay. So stage wake, desynchronized activity, and just one, where is the video? That is okay, fine. Okay, it's fine. So EEG pattern in wake stage is desynchronized activity alpha. This I have explained. If you have any question, I'm just giving just slides overlook. Like you can see. Yes, okay. So this is wake stage, eyes open, desynchronized activity. Okay, and this is eye blinks. This is wake stage, eyes closed. So in that we will have more alpha. This is alpha rhythm, wake stage, eyes closed, or in conventional Nihon code and PSG. And this is wake stage, eyes closed. How the transition is happening. You can see here that, and then disconnector from the recording equipment that mark that stage as wake stage, and non-REM one, low amplitude mixed frequency replace the alpha rhythm, and vertex may be present, GNA slightly lower than the wake stage, and slow eye movements. Okay, you can see slow eye movements here, and this is stage N1, vertex wave may be present here, and yeah, these are the vertex waves. Okay, so if person do not produce, okay, generate alpha rhythm, what is the okay, then you have to look for the vertex waves, low eye movements, low amplitude frequency, and arouses. I have explained it already. So 3 to 15-second wake, increase in the shift in the higher frequency towards the higher frequency with preceding 10 seconds of sleep, and sleep spindles. Okay. And K complexes, first negative deflection, then positive, and the peak to peak amplitude is also there. Higher amplitude EOG, I already showed that. Okay, this is EOG, EEG artifact in or K complex artifact in EOG. Okay, or okay, K complex associated with arousal is there. Then the arousal should come within 1 second, and okay, so here we were okay. So this is K complex and explained it. And now how to score the stage 2. So if in stage 2, in that 30-second epoch, okay, one or more complex K complex is there, but they are not associated with the arousal. If it is associated with the arousal, it is as some other state like N1. Okay, one or more K complex, maybe one K complex may be present, or more than one K complex may be present there in the 30-second epoch. If that is present, mark that stage as N2. Okay. If one or more trains of sleep spindle, if 1 or 2 or 3 sleep spindles are present, or more than that, then again mark that stage N2. It may be possible that only K complex is present, or only sleep spindles are present, or both are present. In every case, in these cases, you have to mark that epoch stage N2. Okay. So continue N2 means sometimes what happens, like suppose this is 30-second epoch, this is again epoch, and this is again. So K complex is also there, or spindle is also there. K complex is also there, spindle is also there. So what stage you have to mark this? There is low amplitude mixed frequency only. Okay. So if low frequency amplitude is present, okay. So what is this stage then? So you mark that EEG with LA with KC, RKC with K complex or sleep spindle if epoch are preceded by an epoch with non-arousal KCR. Okay. So this epoch you have to mark it as a stage 2. Okay. So N2 can go to wake stage, N3 R stage, arousal, major vital movements. So this is how your non-REM 2 or N2 looks like, and spindle is present here. K complex is also present here. Okay, and so this is K complex. Okay, so this stage is N2. Okay, and you can see this K complex is also appearing in EOG. Okay, this is K complex artifact in EOG or EG artifact in EOG. Again, this is, you can see only K complex is present. Okay, and but it is transitioning happening. Okay, you can see rapid movement started appearing proper. Okay. So this is how non-REM is going to stage R. Okay. And what stage this is, we will discuss about this later on. Okay. So since this K complex, this small K complex is disappearing here, and this epoch is mostly covered by the REM. Okay. Okay. So this is actually R stage. So let's do some exercise what we have learned till now. Okay. So this is like this is 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds. Next 30 seconds. Next 30 seconds. Next. It's like if you are going to sleep at 10 o'clock. This is 10 o'clock. 30 seconds, 10 o'clock, 1 minute, 10 o'clock, 1.5 minutes, 10 o'clock, 2 minutes, 10 and 2.5 minutes. Okay. So this kind of, this is your EEG going on like, okay. So this is generally showing normal LAMF kind of EEG activity. So if this is EOG, okay, this is just a pictorial representation of that. Okay. So if rapid movement is there, Gini EMG is also high and eyes open, so that is called wake. Okay. In next epoch, in next part of the EEG, so there is like eyes closed, but there is no alpha. Okay. So this subject includes in those that who do not like generate alpha. So even then we have to see that it's eyes closed, but no alpha, and there is no slow eye movement also. Okay, so we have to mark it as a wake stage. But in next epoch, okay, this is very interesting. Now rules are changing. Please concentrate and ask question if you don't understand. Okay, so here 52 this epoch means 10 p.m. 1.5 minute, that 1 to 1.5 minute, what is happening. Okay, so in first 15 seconds, if we see this is a line for 15 seconds, so there is similar activity, no alpha, but after this 20 seconds there is appearance of slow eye movements. Okay, so slow eye movements, I told you, this mainly present during the stage N1. Okay, so if stage N1 is there, but this is starting after 20 seconds. So most part is covered by the wake only. Okay, so that's why this is wake. Since here is nothing is there, okay, but small eye movement is also covering this part, and this epoch is preceded by the later half of the this 52 epoch. So this will have factor there, and this is N1 state actually. Okay, because this has component of this also. If, okay, again in 54 this starts from here. Okay, and it has K complex. When K complex is there, and this part is also considered as K complex unless other activity comes into picture. Okay, so this is N2. Okay, so this I think you understood how this is like, and so this is again EG activity is straight line. So in this epoch, eyes open, eyes closed. So eyes open is there after, you know, this is a no alpha. Okay, and there is no other activity which distinguish wake from other sleep stage. But here in this epoch, okay, slow eye movement is there and one, but this epoch has nothing. Okay, okay. So according to this, we have to continue with the N1 till we encounter or till we see another characteristic feature of other stage. Till then, we have to mark that epoch also N1. Okay, but in next epoch, this K complex comes into picture, and we have to mark that epoch as N2. Okay, so we'll discuss about the stage N3. This is very simplest, like you can identify. Okay, so as I told that slow wave activity is like 0.5 to 2 hertz, and in 0.5 to 2 hertz, 0.5 to 2 hertz, this activity is called slow wave activity. If slow wave activity is present, see this is this part is like 1 second only. This part, okay, this much part. Right, this is 30 second, 1 second, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we like 30 will come. Okay. So if we see that only 1 hertz is there, like kind of 1 hertz, 1.5. So this is called slow wave activity. If you measure this cycle, start from here and so here. Okay. So this is 1 hertz. So when activity, EEG activity 0.5 to 2 hertz is there, okay, and it covers the 20% of the epoch. Here it is covering most of the epoch, like full epoch is the slow wave activity, but at least 20% of the epoch or 6 seconds is there. So that stage is characterized as N3. So sleep spindle may be present in N3. So it is not mandatory that whenever you see sleep spindle, okay, it is always N2, no. But if slow wave activity is there, okay, and sleep spindle is also there, and slow wave activity is more than 20% of the epoch, then you have to leave the spindle, means you need not to consider the spindle there. Although spindle is there, but you have to present that, okay, sleep spindles may be present in N3, but when it is slow wave activity is high, then there is no role of spindle to distinguish, to designate that epoch as stage 2 or N3. No. When N3 comes, spindles power reduces, or mean power means it does not have meaning in case of scoring. Otherwise, physiologically, it has meaning. Okay. So eye movements are not typically seen. No eye movements are seen in stage N3. So what is happening here? I already told you. These are EOG. This is EOG. Okay. See, slow wave activity is there. That is N3. But here there is what we call it. Yeah, this one. And this artifacts. So these waves, the slow wave activity is so high that even the electrodes present at the eyes, they are picking up those signals. So this is the EEG artifact in EEG. Okay, I explained it already. Okay. So in and with the chin amplitude, EMG is a variable amplitude, often lower than the stage N2 sleep, and sometimes as low as in stage R. So in stage N3, what is happening? That EMG is lower than that of the N2, and sometimes similar to the R stage or REM sleep. Okay. So you can see this kind of activity like N3 or non-REM 3. So slow wave activity is there all around. Okay, and you can see this is 1 second, like 30 seconds are there. Okay, this you count this line, this will give you 30-second window. Okay, so you can see that, and this again, this is not eye movements, these are EEG activity picked up by the eye electrodes or EOG electrodes. Okay, in EMG is lower. So how to transition is happening from N3 to N2 stage. Okay, since this is again this is 30 seconds, I constructed like made constructed it. This is again 30 seconds, and this is again 30 seconds. Okay, so this part. Okay. So this is covering, I think, 6 seconds. If we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So since this part is only 8 seconds, slow wave activity is present. That is called N3. Even if there are some spindles are present sometimes, so that doesn't matter. You can see some spindle is there, kind of. Okay. So spindle is maybe present in N3. Okay, but this is N3 stage, and because of the slow wave activity. Next epoch, what happened? Okay, so slow wave activity is there, but like 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, or 4 second. So criteria was okay, 6 seconds. Criteria was 6 seconds, but in this epoch it is like only 4 seconds. I think here 8 seconds. So in next epoch this is because slow wave activity is not present, and you can see these K complexes are present. Okay, even spindles are present. So here, when N3, what do we call it? When N3 slow wave activity reduces, and there is only one or two K complex, then we have to mark that next is as N2. Then the role of the spindle presence and the K complex comes into picture. Okay, I think this is done. Now, a low amplitude EEG activity without the K complexes or spindle activity. Okay, but in case of REM sleep, that low amplitude EEG activity is present, but there is no K complexes and spindles, and the rapid eye movements are present. Low EMG or atonia and sawtooth waves are present. Okay, and that is like 2 to 6 hertz frequency and maximal in amplitude over the central head region. Okay, so central electrodes and 2 to 6 hertz. This is sawtooth wave. You will sharply control this kind of waves you will see. I'll show you in the figure. Okay, so that may be present. Okay, these are the things which are present during the, and also transient muscle activity. So transient muscle activity like this. This is your EMG. Suddenly one transient amplitude that increase burst of EMG activity comes, and that duration of this EMG, increasing EMG in between, is less than 0.25 seconds. Okay, and superimposed on the low EMG activity. So this transient muscle activity mainly present during the rapid eye movements, during the phasic activity of the REM. So these three components of stage are may not all start or stop at the same time. So it may be possible that your like rapid eye movements are not present, still these things are present. So these, they have different timing, like sometimes they end together, sometimes one and later other things. Okay. Not all epoch of stage are have REMs. This is where somebody also asked a question that REM density, that if for rapid, so it's very important now that not all epochs, okay, stage are have REMs. Okay, so okay, not all epochs of stage are have REMs. So rapid eye movements, this eye movements may not be present in all stages of R. Okay, it may be present in phasic activity. I think 95% of times there is that epoch or REM period, there is no eye movement. Phasic activity is only present during the 5% of the total REM sleep. So this is how REM looks like. This is like this. You can see this is. So this is okay. This looks like K complex, no? Okay, but this is a REM sleep. Okay, how? We'll see. First, EMG is low, EEG activity is low amplitude like activity, and here the rapid eye movement is there. I told already 500 millisecond initial deflection. Okay, and this is okay. So, but this is something else. What is this? K complex is coming along with this. No, this is actually rapid eye movements potential, means like activity so high that is picked up by the frontal electrodes. Initially, EEG activities were picked up by the EOG, and those EEG artifact in EOG was there. And now these eye movements potentials are so big during the REM sleep, they are present in the EEG. Okay, so this is EOG artifact in EEG in REM sleep. Okay, so rapid eye movement is there, low EMG is there, low amplitude. This frequency is present, and this is K complex kind of activity, but it's not a K complex. It is the artifact of EOG in EEG. Again, you see this. So easily, this is K complex. This is rapid eye movements. This is an example of REM sleep. Okay. This is, you can see, transient muscle activity. Okay, and mainly present when phasic activity. Phasic activity means this is when rapid eye movements are present, and tonic activity is then rapid eye movements are present. And okay, so you can see, I will show you this center region. Okay. So again, this is perfect. And when you see in REM sleep, that background is very clear, like even no noise is very less, that atonia is there, so muscle activity noise is not there. Okay, so this is rapid eye movement, and EEG activity is very low amplitude. Okay, EMG is very low, so this kind of activity also. You can see this thing, no? Yeah. Yes. What is this? Okay. Okay. Any idea what is this? This is ECG, no? ECG coming in. This is ECG artifact in EEG. So if you see this, it will coming at the same time when R wave is coming. Okay, of ECG. Okay, I may not putting it straight line, but it is because of this ECG is being picked up by your electrode. Mainly, this is picked up by your occipital electrodes. Okay, if you see frontal not okay, so because volume conduction is there, that's why it is picking up. Okay, so again we will have one more this one exercise. So how we have to mark states. So already explained this is 30 second, 30 second, 30 second, 30 second. Okay. So alpha is there, slow eye movement is there, but EMG is high. Okay. So this is vague, slow eye movement also present in N1. Okay. And as well as in vague state also. But how to distinguish? Because of EMG. EMG is lower in case of N1, EMG higher in case of vague. So this is vague. Alpha is also there. Okay. Again, 51, most of this part is covered by the alpha. Okay. Alpha is the sign of your, wakefulness. So more than 50% it is covered by the alpha. So this is slow eye movement is still present, but dominant by the alpha. So this is the stage. Although there is less EMG, but alpha is there and slow eye movement is there, then that's why it's called wake state. In this case, okay, this is very important. So here, low amplitude mixed frequency is there, and low Chinni EMG, that criteria is there. Now rapid eye movement is there with low EMG. So remember that rapid eye movement is only present during the wakefulness and REM sleep. And what is the difference? Chinni EMG. So EMG is lowest, then it is REM sleep. If Chin is EMG is higher, then it is wake state. So rapid eye movement is there. This is less, and that's why it is called R state, RM state. Since next epoch, there is no like this is what we call it, no rapid development, nothing, but Chini MD is lower. We have to continue this next epoch on the basis of this as R stage. Okay, remember this. Okay, this is very important. Okay, so okay, please, if you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, again and again I'm telling, because we will conduct a quiz for you for this, how you will score about this. These stages, we will give you similar kind of exercise to you, and then we will also discuss at that time. Please, if you are not like in agreement with these stages, please let me know. Okay, so next is what is this time now? Okay, okay, fine. So this is again alpha is there, high EMG is there, then big. Slow eye movement is there, Chini EMG is lower, and there is no alpha and 1. Again 62, that is R stage is there because RAM is there. In following epoch, if R stage and there is no other distinguished features which distinguish the stages, then you have to also mark this one in the following stage R. Okay, here this is preceding stage and this is falling stage. So in both cases, you have to mark that stage R. Okay. So next is like this epoch, alpha is there, EMG is like big. But as I told that RAM is there and the preceding epoch has no other distinguished features. So you have to mark these stages as R. Okay. So another exercise, we'll see that. Okay. So this is K complex. Yeah. Then this stage is N2, again N2, but here EMG reduces. I told you now N2 has like RAM stage has lower EMG than N2 or N3 or N1. So here this N2 ends, but this part is very lower. Okay. Okay. So if this part is lower, then low chain not covering that much of RAM, so this has to be given priority, this part. Okay, so this is what we have to mark it. And to next, this is RAM is there, but there in this epoch there is no other distinguished feature which separate the RAM from other stages, so that's why we have to follow the rules. So in the preceding epoch we have to R here also. Okay, so this is K complex again, and to yeah, since I told now, like this. If K complex is there or spindle is there, K complex is also there, spindle is there, we have to mark this N2. Similarly, spindles are there. So this is we have to mark N2. But in the next falling stage, this rapid augment is there, that's why it's R. So if in between epoch is not have any distinguished feature and followed and preceded by the properties of stage N2, then that midway that epoch is known like have to mark according to that stage. Okay, N2 stage. Okay, this is K complex N2. This is spindle. I have explained that N2. But see here, the spindle is ending here. Okay. Okay, and like 20% of the epoch is covered by the low amplitude mixed frequency, but next epoch has RAM. So this RAM we have to give the priority, and because of this priority, it is R stage. Okay, had this spindle come here like this, or here after this, so this stage would have been like N2 only, but spindle is ending at like within 10 seconds of the 72 epoch, so that's why RAM is given more preference. So this is major body movements. So major body movement and muscle artifact obscuring the EEG for more than half an epoch to the extent that the sleep stage cannot be determined. So sometimes we cannot determine some movement is there, and so major muscle activity is so high that we cannot determine what actually this EEG looks like at that time. So if okay, so we cannot mark it stage. If this is 30 seconds, and how will there is nothing, we cannot see anything. Okay, so how to mark this stage? Mark it vague or mark it as N1, N2, N3? That is the question. Okay, so movement and muscle artifact obscuring EG for more than half an epoch to the extent the sleep stage cannot be determined. So that is called major body movement. And how to score this kind of EG activity, this kind of epoch? We have to see. Okay, so this we can see in epoch that this is major body movements. It is covering more than the 15 seconds, and it is preceded by the K complex. Okay, and there is no higher activity here. Okay, in EG, slow amplitude, and this is, you can say, K complex is there. So followed and preceded by K complex means N2 stage. So in that case, we have to mark that epoch as N2. Okay. So what if there is high activity like alpha is there, or rapid movement is there like this, or some N1 stage is there? Okay. So that we will discuss now next. Then how to score that? Okay. But scoring of the major body movement majorly dependent on the how preceding epochs and following epoch looks like, and whether what kind of EG activity is present in the with the major body preceding and following. Okay, so here we can see that if this is a pictorial representation of major body movement, this is the first epoch, second epoch. So if just remember, if major body movement is associated with some kind of arousal or alpha higher activity, EG activity, then mark that epoch as big. Okay, since alpha is there, okay, and high activity, so mark this epoch as big. Suppose again this is 30-second epoch. Okay. So here major body movement is there, rapid movement is there, but increase weight. This EMG. So this is a sign of rapid movement, increase EMG. This is weight. So on the basis of this, we have to mark this wake stage. Okay. If followed by wake, again we have to mark it as a wake stage. If major body movement is there, if this preceding epoch has again wake stage, okay, no alpha is there but wake stage is there, then again we have to mark that epoch as wake stage. And in case of stage N1 is there but followed by stage N2, then we have to like if no alpha, okay, so how followed epoch is showing, that we have to take that, according to that we have to mark it. So if it is and this major body movement followed by the stage N2, then we have to mark this as N2. Okay. In case this N2 there is and alpha is there, then this is wake. Okay. So this is major body movements. So this is exercise for the major body movement. If you see that this is N2 stage, N2 stage. Since this is next stage is N2 and previous is also N2, and there is no other activity in the major body movement, then this stage N2. Okay, what I showed you, this one. Okay, followed and preceded by the N2, and definitely the epoch will be N2. Okay, fine. So this is this, and this again, if N1 is there, then we have to follow that rule. Okay. That's why it's N1. Again, this REM sleep is there in and around. Like this is like REM sleep is there. Next epoch, there is no increase in EMG, no alpha. Then we have to follow the rules that okay, we have to go like this. Okay. In case if it is followed by the N1, then again we have to mark it as N1. Okay. If some other stage is there, according to that we have to mention it. Then at that time REM ends. Okay. So we'll look at the how to score apneas. Okay, score a respiratory event as an apnea when there is a, we place just one minute. Okay. So this is chest electrodes. This is chest vent are there. Abdominal electrodes are there. Nasal. Here we have used nasal thermistor thermal flow. Okay, and snoring is there. Okay, so these electrodes are mandatory. How to score that this is happening? Okay, that we will see here. So if SpO2 is also there, if SpO2 score a respiratory event as apnea, when there is a decrease, there is a drop signal. Okay, by more than 90%. Okay, means if signal is there and it drops by 90%, like it will become like this. Okay, so this drop 90% drop of the signal, okay, should be there in case of this amplitude of this, okay, nasal pressure or thermistor. Okay, so in case of apnea, this nasal thermal flow is recommended than the nasal pressure, but in case of hypoapnea, nasal pressure is recommended. Recommended for the scoring part of this apnea, hypoapnea. Okay, so there is a drop in the peak signal exertion, okay, by 90% from pre-event baseline, and the duration 90% drop in sensor signal, okay, more than 10 seconds, okay, and this duration of 90%, okay, decrease in the signal, and should be like 10 seconds. If 10 seconds is there, then we have to mark it as apnea. Okay, and you have to see this nadi point here, then here. You have to start from here. Okay. So here you can see stage N2 is there, but at the same time, this is the baseline. This is baseline. Okay, but from here this drops. Okay, and the chest movement also showing less movements. Inspiratory effort is there. So, okay, so this is called obstructive apnea because it's more than, like, it is 17 seconds it is coming. So this is obstructive sleep apnea. Okay, here you can also see inspiratory efforts are there, and more than 10 seconds, and from baseline it drops more than 90%. Again, this is central apnea. Okay, so all the inspiratory effort is not there. Okay, and this is central, this is nasal, and this is abdominal. This is central apnea. This is hypoapnea when your drop is like 30%, more than 30%. Okay, from pre-event line, and at least 10-second drop should be there, and oxygen saturation like 3%. Acceptable is like 4% oxygen saturation is also acceptable. Okay, so this is your hypoapnea. Okay. So you can see that this pre-event baseline, and this is slightly due, like 30%. It is reduced the signal. Okay, even inspiratory efforts are present here. So this is hypoapnea, obstructive hypoapnea. So periodic limb movements in sleep. So placement of electrodes in the for the periodic limb movements. This mainly anterior tibialis, and keep this distance. This is the center point, and keep this distance 2 to 3 centimeters. And what is leg movement event? It's like minimum duration of leg movement is 0.5 seconds, and maximum duration 10 seconds, and the EMG increase in, like, if baseline is there like 2 microvolt, then there should be increase in further 8 microvolt to mark it as its leg movement or not. Okay, so increase it 8 microvolt. Okay, whenever there is increase in 8 microvolt, that time we have to make it the onset of the leg movement, and timing of the ending of the leg movement is defined as the start of the period last at least 0.5 seconds, during which does not exceed 2 microvolt above resting EMG. So, and you have to do with the 2 microvolt. So here, if in case what we got two, both leg are moving, and whether there is a one leg movement or two, then we have to see that if it is covering within 5 seconds. Okay, coming within 5 seconds on set. So then it is called 1 lakh movement. Okay, if it is more than 5 seconds, it's not called lakh movement. Like this now. This is 1 lakh movement. This is another lakh movement. Okay, and this is during stage wake, we need not score it as a leg movement. Okay. So if 4 leg movements are there, okay, in consecutive, then we have to call it a periodic leg movement series. Okay. So this is how you have to, for bruxism, place the electrode at the masseter muscles, and maybe consist of a phasic or tonic energy activity that are at least twice the amplitude of background EMG, and this brief activity in durations like at least 0.25 to 2 seconds. If at least 3 such elevation occur in a regular sequence, and sustained elevation of chin or masseter EMG activity are scored as bruxism if duration is more than 2 seconds. So a period of at least 3 seconds of stable background EEG, chin EMG is very much needed. They must occur before a new episode bruxism can be scored. Okay, so we can also rely on the audio in combination with the polysomnography for this. Thank you so much. I think we have covered the scoring part. Please ask question if you have any. So next session we will demonstrate this placement of electrodes online lab session. Okay, 2:30.